I mean, we don't know.
We don't know, but we know.
We probably won't find out in our lifetime.
Right.
Well, hello there, and welcome to a Q&A with Zach and Stevie.
Yep. This week we're actually at the airport because we're about to fly to Nashville to see your sister and hang out with the family. But we wanted to make sure we did a video, and we couldn't do another travel series because, like, we're literally leaving today. I'm gonna be on the plane most of the day, so we won't have enough time to film and still get the video up tomorrow. So we're here in the airport. We're doing a little Q&A.
Yes.
We reached out to you guys to ask us some questions. We have like 14 questions. We got a bunch of questions, but we narrowed it down so we could answer some questions for you guys.
Alrighty, let's get started.
Yeah.
Shall we? Okay. What movie could you watch over and over again without getting tired of it?
Alright, for me there's two. More leaning towards...
They said one.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
But more leaning towards the second one. Obviously, Avengers, I think.
Ooh.
I don't think it's necessarily the best Marvel film. I think probably Civil War, Black Panther kind of take that, but I think Avengers is endlessly watchable. I think it's super fun.
Because if he watches the other videos, I might shed a tear.
I mean, the later ones. The earlier ones are more fun. The later ones make me cry. But the one that I think I could watch over and over again, which I did as a child, my sister and parents could testify about this, is Toy Story. I think I could watch that over and over again.
It's a classic. I totally agree.
What about you?
Okay, come on. Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a given. We've talked about that.
I can watch that movie over and over without getting like tired of it. I always act like I've never watched it.
Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park 2 and 3 are like, man, obviously the first one is like an icon, right?
Yeah.
But I think Jurassic World, despite like some of the faults it has, like is the most like fun romp of all of them. So I could see that. All right, so in that same vein, if they made a movie about your life, what actor would you want to play you? I got this one locked and loaded. I've always had it locked and loaded, but I'm interested to see what you have to say.
Anne Hathaway. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think because like she has curly hair.
Curly hair, yeah.
And
I can
like
see.
Princess
But
Diaries.
she's a great actress, so let's not discount Anne Hathaway. I think that's a good pick.
Okay.
She's a little bit too Caucasian for you. I mean,
too light.
it would be but like she's just like it'd be better if you had like a Hispanic woman playing you. But you could say the same thing about my picks. You could say the same thing about my picks. Because I have two picks. I would take either of them. They're both amazing. First and foremost, I would say Joseph Gordon-Levitt, just because I love him. And then I would say Jake Johnson. I love him so much in everything he does. But New Girl's what solidified it for me. And like seeing him in Jurassic World was fun. Either one of them I would take.
How did you guys meet? Oh, great question.
So I moved to San Francisco a year into college. I stayed in Vegas for a year, and then I moved because I had a scholarship, and then I moved out here to actually go to school and do my thing. And I started working at Converse like maybe a week after I started working here. So the Converse flagship store that was here, and then I was there for a month. Maybe? I don't know. And then she started working there.
Yep. I, too, myself went to school, came up here for school, and previous year I was doing school from home. So when I moved back to San Francisco, I was like, oh, I want to get a job. Where should I work? And I was like, no, like, brainer, I should work at Converse. Because I wear Converse, like, all the time. So then, yeah, I remember I met him my first day.
Yeah, that's how we met. We met on the first day. We both worked, like, as just sales associates working on the floor. And then I got promoted and worked in their customization department. And then she came over there, and then that's when we, like, really became friends and started hanging out.
Because like we were like always at it was Zach, myself, and Wardy, and Liz. We would always just be in the customization section, and then that's how we met.
That was the best. Like I worked like retail and I worked like customer service jobs my whole life, but like when it was me, you, and Wardy, and like Liz back there, like that was like the best. Like I would take that. Like I would do that.
It was the beginning.
I would do that now.
Like such a great friendship.
Yeah, I would do that now. Like I love like the jobs I do now, but I would do that now. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And that's where we also met Christian.
Yes. All right.
Jerome,
Yeah, master plan.
So we met all the cool people.
All right, so this one's a little bit more deep. Do aliens exist?
Okay. I wouldn't say like aliens, like, you know, with the big head.
Yeah, I think that's a given. They're not gonna be green people with big heads.
If we knew that's what they look like, then they would exist, right?
I think, like, if you say, like, it's ridiculous to think aliens don't exist. Because we are in one solar system, in one galaxy.
Yeah.
To think there isn't life in maybe another solar system or another galaxy, like, there's so much potential out in the universe. Like, it's very smug and arrogant of us to think we're the only life in the universe.
Maybe we are.
That
I
is
we'll
crazy.
never know, right?
But a lot of people shoot down the idea of like other life on other planets because of like religion and stuff. It kind of like stomps out some of people's beliefs of like, so they're scared of that, or they're just scared that there's other lives, and maybe they're kind of worried about it. But like, I think it's kind of arrogant of us to be like, there's no other life, we're the only things in the universe.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know, but we know.
We probably won't find out in our lifetime. What's something that you love in SF that you feel is better here than back in your respective hometowns?
For me, like, I love Vegas, and so that's a hard one. I always said if I could put these two cities together, like, that would be like my dream. But I think San Francisco, and not taking anything away from what Vegas has, but San Francisco has something that I never experienced in Vegas, which is like this really great like community of creative people and like people that are pushing themselves and like are willing to help you push yourselves. Like, I don't think if I moved here, if I didn't meet you or Christian or Eduardo or like any of my friends, like, I don't think I would be in the same place that I am now. Like, it's because of that group that really pushed me, and I don't think that, at least for me, that didn't exist in Vegas, and I think that's much more abundant when I moved here. Maybe
because you like grew up as a kid in Vegas and you're an adult here in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just people come here with aspirations of like being involved in like art and creativity and stuff, and like there is a big up and coming like art scene in Vegas, and there are really amazing artists in Vegas, but Vegas has a much more entrenched like thing with like music and DJs and stuff, and like it's if you're looking to enter that scene, like, that's a good place to be. But like for visual artists and animators and stuff, like, there's not necessarily that in Vegas yet. So I think that's something that I found here. What about you?
For me, I would say how everything is so close together. So everything, like,
definitely,
because like Los Angeles, you'll be like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 30 minutes. You have to go across town, or it takes you an hour, like, to drive, and traffic, and
that's the only reason I would never live in LA is the traffic.
It's just crazy. And like, yeah, it's really nice because in San Francisco you don't have to worry about driving. You just take the Muni, take the bus. It takes you there, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, San Francisco, for having a great bus system.
Public transit.
Because it saves my life, and you know, I don't have to have a car here, and everything's so close. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but San Francisco is 7 miles by 7 miles. Yeah. So it's a little square. It's a big city, but it's really small. And you can get somewhere from one side to the other in like an hour if you take a long transportation bus. Yeah, because there's Muni, there's BART, there's Caltrain, there's Samtran, there's a million things. So that's what I have to say. It's a good one. Who's your favorite artist, and what about their work do you like? So as a graphic designer, I really appreciate Jessica Hish. I actually met her a couple of years ago in Italy for a type conference. And little did I know, she's actually from San Francisco, so she lives here, but her typography is amazing. She does everything hand drawn, very inspirational. She's done different series. She's done the type for like classic books, for chronicles, and it's just, her stuff is amazing. Very detailed, but very like inspirational. So she's a great person. We'll put people's links below. But yeah, you should check her
do you have
out.
like
the final and immediate departure call for flight 12.
so do you have like a historic or like a classic artist that you really like?
I mean, no, not really.
I mean, so for me, I have two, I would say two favorite artists, like modern, like right now that's going on. It would have to be Mike Mitchell. I mean, I'm wearing a Mike Mitchell hat right now. He is awesome. He does so many different things. He does these like beautiful portraits of like celebrities and like fictional characters from like, I have a bunch of his, you may see in our unboxing videos in the background, I have a bunch of his portraits of like Star Wars characters and stuff, but he also does these really fun, like this, like my hat, this character is Scully, which is a skull with like this fat baby body, and he does like all these different styles. He does these like little fat birds that are like kind of cartoonish but like also like a little bit realistic. Like he does all these different styles and it's really fun, and he does whatever is special to him, and he works with Mondo and they're able to help him that way. But like my favorite like historic artist I would say is Roy Lichtenstein. Like that is like the reason why, like one of the reasons why I got into art, like getting into art history and seeing that in pop art. Like he did these big paintings, like full-on paintings that are like comic book panels, and like that's something that really spoke to me as a kid, like reading Spider-Man comics and stuff, being like, this is art. Like you can just like, this is something that's like, pop art was like a big like introduction into that for me, and like I would say definitely those two are some of the big influences.
Who's the better cook?
This is the easiest question ever.
Wait, I don't really cook.
Yeah.
I probably warm things up.
Stevie doesn't cook. I learned how to cook from, my dad showed me stuff. I've learned a little bit from my like grandparents, but I think the biggest person that taught me how to cook was, like, she's family now, and a lot of people like would say like she's my aunt or anything, but she's like, she was my student teacher in first grade, and then she became like a family friend, and now she's family. She's taught me so much stuff, and so
her food is amazing.
Her food is amazing. Every time I go visit in Vegas, like I'll help her cook, and we'll do things just because like I enjoy cooking, but like working with her and stuff, like that's where I learned how to do a lot of stuff. So making like biscuits and gravy, making lasagna, making like all of these different things, like all because of her. So
shout out to Stephanie.
Yeah. So considering you guys are involved in so many projects, what is your dream job? I mean, so we both do a lot of things right now. We're working on a big group project.
Don't tell the secret.
Yeah, with a bunch of artists that I really appreciate. I also am working on a mini company with two people that I really appreciate their work. So I'm working on a ton of things. But growing up, my dream job was always to work for Pixar, and I totally would do that still. That's not something I'm against. I think that there is a lot that can be contributed to join that team. I think that having like more minority voices in mainstream animation is important, and I would love to work on that. I would love to work with Enwardi again. He's doing a lot of really great stuff, but I don't know necessarily now if I would say I have a dream job. I want to work now more than anything on my own stuff. Like,
for sure.
Mondo is a company that lets artists do their own thing, and they give them the facilities and the audience to like do that. And so just being able to like work on the stuff that you want to work on is amazing. And if the projects I'm working on now like pan out, then that's allowing me to do my own thing. But if I were to work for a company like Stupid Buddy or Pixar or anything like that, like I totally would love to do that as well.
Yeah.
But my dream right now, I think, would totally be just to let me do my own stuff, whether it be prints or sculptures or whatever I'm doing.
1276 with service to Los Cabos.
For me, I would say being a creative director. I mean, that is like, I mean, you can go really high and being like an entrepreneur or, you know, have your own like design firm, but I think just being a creative director is something that I feel is, you know, a great goal, and I feel like I could achieve that hopefully.
Would you want to like have branded something, and so like when that company is seen, like you know that like that logo, that all of that stuff is like your branding?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, it's always great to be like, oh, this person did this logo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's for all graphic designers, it's really important to strive for your goal, even if it sounds a little impossible, but
Yeah.
I feel like it can be maintained. And also I want to have a little like line where I sell like greeting cards or something just like small that I sell third party stores. I don't know. We'll see. If you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? What a fitting question to be at the airport.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me. There's like places I want to go. Like I would love to go to Spain, and I would love to go to Brazil and stuff. But I've never been a big person of like, I need to travel and go all these places. If I could go anywhere, like if the question is just like if I could go anywhere, where would I go? I would go to space. I would want to go to either the moon or to like Mars. Like I know, but like obviously I'm wearing a NASA shirt and I love SpaceX and stuff. I would like that would be my thing. Like I would much rather take going, even if it's just into space and floating around for a little bit and then coming back. I would take that over going like anywhere in the world.
Oh my god. I, on the other hand, I want to go to Bali.
Interesting. Why?
Something very tropical, relaxing. Yeah. The water looks beautiful. Everything's just like blue and come on. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to go to Bali?
I've been wanting to go to Koh Samui. We were talking about that for a while.
Oh yeah.
Because one of my favorite podcasts, Little Dum Dum, we've talked about them before. They do a podcast festival there. This is their second year. So I was talking about that. Koh Samui is a nice, beautiful, tropical place. Thailand, yeah. What was the first comic book that you ever got? Do you still have it?
Yeah, I got two of them at the same time.
Yeah.
It was with Zachary.
Yeah.
And we were in LA and we went to, what was the comic book?
We went to Meltdown. Because we're gonna go watch. Chris Hardwick does a show there, and so we're gonna go see that. But we just walked around the comic book store.
And the two comic books that I got was A-Force.
Number one,
and then I got X-Men.
90s X-Men #1.
Yeah.
And
I still have them.
Yeah. The first comic I ever got was Spider-Man 2099, issue number 9. I do still have it. It's not in the greatest shape, unfortunately, because I got it beat up when I first got it, because I was in elementary school. My mom taught at the same school I taught at, and I just got like a bunch of random comics from teachers or different places. I don't really know, but the first one I got was Spider-Man 2099, and so
nice.
I think the next comic I got was a Spider-Man like reading is fun comic.
For kids.
Yeah, it was like really for kids, and there's like it's Spider-Man swinging out of a book with like a dinosaur and like different things.
I want to read that.
It's so weird, but yeah, that's obviously why I love Spider-Man as a kid. But yeah, that's the first comic. I still have it.
Is there any works of art, literature, film that has impacted your lives in a specific way, and how?
Yes, a lot. I would say the biggest one is Toy Story. I saw that when I was 2 years old and was like, I want to do something like that. And so that really got me into animation and wanting to do art and stuff like that. And then obviously, like I said, seeing pop art and like Andy Warhol, Roy Lichtenstein stuff is like something that really helped me. And then seeing Mondo, what they're doing, helping like artists and doing stuff like that, it's like I want to do my own stuff and just do a Star Wars thing, do a Marvel thing, and like actually like make something out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think like people wise, I think like Kevin Smith is a big inspiration. He's a director that's just about like inspiring people to go do their thing. Same with Chris Hardwick. He's a big person, a big advocate of like go make out your thing, whatever it is that you're into, whatever you love. Like, go out there and make it, follow your passion. And then like I think with all of that kind of stuff together is what has kind of pushed me. And there's people like George Watsky and Lin-Manuel, like even though they're music influence and stuff.
Invites all active traveling.
This might sound cheesy, but Disney, I love Disney.
Yeah.
Something about like the way that they allow people to like still feel like children when you're like the world. I'm an adult. I have to do adult life, and it's not, like that all the time. But they've inspired me to be creative and take that next step, and just anything is possible.
Yeah, I mean that was always like a big thing for me. Is like I have the same birthday as Walt Disney. We've talked about that before on the podcast, on the blog. But like he was always a big inspiration for me in terms of he's like a person that was just like, let's get people together and like make a thing, let's do something. And he was poor and wanted to do something, and he worked with his brother and made this whole empire that we know now. But he was just a guy with some ideas that worked with people, and like I totally get that.
Yeah, for sure. And also YouTube. I know that sounds like weird, but like I've been watching YouTube forever.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and there was this one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and
we did that test vlog.
We did that test vlog, and it did really well. But yeah, YouTube for sure. There's so many cool vloggers out there.
Do this. What is your all-time favorite Disney thing and why?
That is a good question. The Disney parks, come on.
Be a little bit more specific. Give them the juice.
Okay, well, before I moved here to San Francisco, I was a Disney member or pass holder, annual pass holder for like 4 years. So we would go to Disneyland all the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just love, like, there's like this area that you can just go in and like forget about the world and all the awesome rides. I love Indiana Jones. I love Space Mountain. I love
It said, what is your all-time
Oh.
favorite thing? Not name a million things.
Disneyland.
I think my all-time favorite Disney thing. I think it's been different things growing up, but I think now like something that was really important and impactful for me is when we went to go. This most recent time, we put it in the video, our travel series when we went to Disneyland, was when we went to see the Abraham Lincoln speech.
Yeah.
It was.
He's never seen them.
I've never seen that before. That whole building is beautiful inside and everything, but like the speech he gives and everything that's talked about in that is so impactful, and it especially in like these kind of times, like it was very relevant, and it hit me right in the heart that I was like, man, like I've always said that like Abe Lincoln was the best president, but like that was a real big moment for me. So I think that I would probably say that.
Do you have any certain words that you yourself live by?
Yes, I have two. One of them is from Kevin Smith. He always talks about that failure is just success training. So, like, you mess up and you fail at something, but it's just preparing you for the next step to retry, to do something better the next time. And he talks a lot about that. And that's a phrase that I always stick with. And also, like, Bill Nye also says that everyone that you will ever like meet knows something that you don't. So you have something that you can learn from everybody, regardless of who they are. So that's always, those are kind of two things that you can put together. So if you fail, you can always have to pick yourself back up, and you're setting yourself up to be better. And the whole like 10,000 hours thing, right? You put your time in, you can be better at something, but also like if you talk to people and meet people, you have a chance of succeeding and learning new things from new people.
I just live by YOLO.
Really, Stevee?
No, si se puede.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, fine, just do it.
I just gave this
Be an all-star.
this whole speech, and you're just giving this nonsense.
I mean, that's just how I live life.
That's embarrassing.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this week's video with all the different Q&A questions. We really appreciate all those being sent in to us.
Yep. If you guys have any more, you can send them in to us. We'll probably do another one of these in the future. You can put it in the comments, or you can send it to us on the socials. We did the hashtag AskStevee'sTV.
Yeah, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below.
Yep.
And let us know what you guys think.
Yep, all the usual stuff. If you guys are watching this right away, this week on Thursday, I will be doing our showcase for Raw in San Jose. I'll have the links down below. You can buy a ticket and you can come see me, see some live music, have some drinks, check out a bunch of really cool artists. Even if you can't attend, that's totally fine. I still recommend buying a ticket because it helps support local and independent artists and gives them a platform and an audience that can help them follow their dreams.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Make sure to donate if you guys can. But yeah, hope you guys have a great week.
Yep, we'll see you next week. See you, mates.
What can I say except accept, you're welcome. For the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. I'm just an ordinary